Wonderful Precure keeps surprising me. Every single episode is a new joy, so let's talk about episode 5. The episode starts with Komagi and Iroha going for their usual morning walk. They stumble across this mother and daughter duo who are getting frustrated as their new puppy refuses to leash train. Iroha steps in and works some of her dog-whispering magic to help, inviting them back to her vet pet salon house place to get further help with the issue. Also, side note, but I really like the daughter's character design, and I hope they become recurring characters. I like having those. Iroha's dad continues to be amazing as he fawns over the puppy before offering genuine advice to help leash train a dog. Something I liked about this episode as a whole was its realistic depiction of some of the trials that come with having and training a pet, giving actual advice on how to work past it, and framing everything as the growing bond between pets and their humans. Komugi smugly thinks to herself that she was never bad with a leash before Iroha immediately gives an example of a time when she was not so great with it. As the mother, daughter, and puppy leave, Iroha and Komugi get to have a little reminiscing session about what it was like when they first met, and the bond that's grown between them in the time since. We get a pretty long flashback, actually, going more in depth of Iroha rescuing Komugi. It's very sweet, and like I said, pretty realistic too. I hope they do similar stuff for Mayu and Yuki when we focus on them more, since I might actually cry if they do. Something I'm a little worried about? They called out specifically that Komugi doesn't remember anything from before Iroha found her, even though she already had a collar, apparently. Now, this could lead to an episode or two where we do learn more about Komugi's previous owners and everything that could come from that, or we could find out that Komugi is not actually a completely normal dog, and that she was actually magic the whole time. I really hope they don't do that, personally. I mean, I suppose I'll be fine with it, but so far I am loving this concept of just a completely normal dog becoming a magical girl to save her person. If she ends up having some magical origins, it could ruin that for me a little. Though since Komugi herself obviously doesn't know if this is the case, for her the sentiment still carries. I guess it'll all depend on which direction they go and how they end up handling it. I do like that they are setting up something, though. This season has been pretty good about continuity and setup so far. The flashback ends and we get some healthy communication. I love how everyone is just saying how they feel, not in a tell don't show way, but in a these characters actually know how to talk to each other way. Maya scene! She's super excited about the bag that Iroha gave her last episode and is really wanting to befriend her. It's super endearing, and Yuki watches on in her cat way. Maya decides to get something for Iroha in return, something related to walks, just like the bag. While we don't quite find out what it is in this episode, I'm guessing she's going to get Iroha a leash, since that's what we're really focusing on this time. Back with Komugi and Iroha, Komugi points out that they never finished their walk and wants to keep going. She also mentions that while she can use the leash to feel close to Iroha as a dog, she can't do that as a human. Iroha was about to say something in response when it's garu garu time. Pretty early in the episode compared to what we've had before, but I'm not complaining. This garu garu is a penguin with a green gem in its head and the power to create ice, turning the local beach into an Arctic environment. Satoru is already on the scene, which I am grateful for after he didn't get a chance to help out with the tanuki last time. The girls transform, and I love how they point out that falling in the icy water would be a very bad thing. Environmental obstacles are no joke, friends. Along with possible hypothermia, the ice is also very slippery, and the penguin can swim, making this their most challenging fight yet. Purifying via hugs without physically fighting is extremely challenging when your surroundings are against you. Because of that, this chase was actually very entertaining. I mean, at this point I'm not surprised. I'm pretty easy to please, and I've been enjoying every chase so far. If the entire season kept on with this formula of the Cures encountering creative obstacles between them and the Garu Garu and they have to figure out how to get past them, and then Satoru's on the sidelines saying helpful animal facts, I would be happy. Though a change in the formula would also be welcome. Like I said, I'm pretty easy to please. During the chase, Wonderful and the Penguin fall off a crumbling ice bridge, sending them both tumbling into the ocean. Except that Friendy is there to catch Wonderful. Their fingers barely slipped by, and instead they're connected by the leash. Also connecting the chase to the rest of the episode. Nice. Side note, but I have to point this out, Komugi's leash came from Wonderful's Wonderful Pact. So does that mean that all of their clothes and items they have on them when they transform are just stored inside the Wonderful Pact? Food for thought. Anyway, the following moment was really cute. Wonderful says that when she's human, they can hold hands instead of using a leash, and that way they can still feel close to each other. Friendly correctly points out that they're kind of in crisis and now is not the time, but agrees with her. The ice bridge further shatters, but because the bond between these two is so strong, a lot of glowy magic from the Mirror Stone happens and saves them. The leash becomes the Friendly Tact, a matching set of 2 wands for Wonderful and Friendly. Friendy, sorry, her name still bugs me, man. When Friendy grabs the tact, she hears the voice of the Kirarin rabbit, while Wonderful doesn't, which is interesting. The Kirarin rabbit tells Friendy to use her power, and we get some more stock footage. It's a very nice sequence, actually. So, I have to say, we knew from the Kirarin animal toys that they were going to give the Precure new powers. You know what we didn't know? That they would get new accessories along with those powers. I love form changes, I love new outfits and stuff like this, so when I tell you that I was hyped to see Friendy get full-on magical rabbit ears, I mean that I think I may have screamed in delight. I am now so excited to see them use every single Kirarin power going forward, please and thank you. It turns out Wonderful is unable to do the same thing, which is weird, and I definitely smell implications for next episode. Friendy uses her new superpowered hearing she got from the rabbit to pinpoint the penguin, and they do the whole hug purify thing to save the Kirarin penguin. They send him back to the Nico Garden using the animation from last episode, which is stock footage, we were right. Then, of course, we get our cute scene between Iroha and Satoru. She talks about how happy she is that she's able to talk to Komugi now, and he straight up says, "When you're happy, I'm happy." It's too cute. Komugi is unhappy that she wasn't able to use the rabbit's power, and you know what? I would be too. It sets up the next episode in a very organic way, which I like. That's where it ends. And next time we get to see Iroha and Komugi's first fight. You know, usually I don't like episodes where the main characters have beef, but this time it's been set up well enough, and the conflict feels organic enough, that I think I'll give it a shot. This episode was just very sweet, with a great chase and good handling of the side characters. I love that they're giving actual pet advice and are going places with their character-driven story that both make sense and are fun to watch. Tell me what you think about where this season is going. In any case, until next time!